Right then, this is a walk-around video, and this is for an absolutely stunning Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. The car is in absolutely amazing condition inside and out. Just 48,000 miles on the clock, finished in this lovely grey metallic with a full black leather interior. The car's been just superbly looked after in every way. All of its servicing up until the service we've just done, which incidentally was only done on time, not on mileage. It only done 3,000 miles or so since the last Honda service, and all the servicing prior have been done by the Honda dealers. Pardon me. But to go around the car for you, lights and lenses are completely clear, intact. Front of the car exceptionally clean. Bumper shows virtually nothing on it at all. Likewise, the bottom of the car, fortuitously the sun's gone out, which is brilliant, because it makes it much better for the videos. Looks absolutely unmarked. Near side, again, mirror smooth in the panel work. Just not a mark there, I can see that indentation. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing, hardly anything on there at all, in fact, nothing worth mentioning. Panel work, just wonderfully clean and original. I'm going to scoot around a bit because it's nice with the sun out, because it really helps with the videos to pick up on anything. But it is just as close to immaculate as you can possibly expect any used car to be. And it's one of the very best CR-Vs anywhere in the marketplace. Offside, again, just in stunning condition. Offside rear alloy, nothing on there at all. The remaining panel work, as I said, simply extraordinary. And then final alloy, again, just perfect condition. But the car, as I said, it needs to be seen because it is one of the very, very finest out there. It's coming into the boot area now, huge boots, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully back here. Coming to the back of the car, big wide opening rear doors, full set of original Honda mats, which are all in lovely condition, and leatherwork again is in super condition for one of these CR-Vs, because they are predominantly family cars, and that means they get used very heavily, but this one's been used quite the opposite, very lightly indeed. Coming to the front on the near side, passenger side, footwell areas are all absolutely immaculate, and from the passenger seat there, it literally looks factory fresh. My driver's door card, again absolutely unmarked. The driver's seat itself, the one that takes all the wear, and this one's got virtually nothing on it at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated. The dashboard looks absolutely as new. Sat nav, as you can see there, working perfectly. I'll pop the car into reverse. Get that lovely clear gridded parking camera. It is complemented by the front and rear parking sensors on the vehicle as well, but it is in extraordinary condition in here as well. Come to the dashboard and pan in there for you. 48,470 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. But this car really needs to be seen in the flesh, because it's actually one of the very, very keenest priced ones for the mileage, and yet it's probably in a condition of ones many £1,000s more expensive. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel, and it's under the automatic version. This particular car is registered LS13DMS, and mileage is currently 48,464 miles. The reason we do these videos, as I say in all of them, very simply, is just so that customers who are looking at the cars online get to see that very car in operation, which we feel is incredibly important. We know to our cost just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look great in the photographs and in the advertisement, only to get there to find out it's got a fundamental problem which you clearly should have been told about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. It's also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on. The reason for that is so then it would be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, as I always do, just go through exactly the same things, starting with the engine. They're just brilliant units in these CR-Vs, the 2.2s. Starts absolutely instantly, settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all that relate to the engine or any other part of the car. I'll tell you the temperature a little bit later in the video. Just obviously I like to do the videos from cold if I possibly can. As I say, the engine, it's just a lovely unit. It's very unlike lots of turbo diesels, which can be very peaky engines. They just have short snaps of power with the turbo and then they tail off or have lots of lag. These have got a wonderful linear power delivery, so it gives you power through pretty much the whole rev range, and it's very smooth and quiet in operation. And it also works beautifully with the automatic gearbox, again, which isn't a given. Some turbo diesels, the gearboxes can't quite work out with the loadings of the turbo and power delivery, and they can be a little bit jolty, but this is very, very, very smooth, and I've had loads of them. I love these particular cars. The gearbox itself is really good, strong gearbox. Honda, basically, when they first brought out the automatic diesels, didn't have an automatic rather, that was beefy enough to take the high torque demands of the engine. So they basically used the one out of the Honda Legend, which was a 300 horsepower flagship car. So it's basically massively over-engineered, which is why they just don't really give any issues, but also lovely and smooth in operation. You can use these paddles on the steering wheel, which are probably more relevant on the petrol autos than on the diesels, but it's there. So if you want to control the gear the automatic's in, then you can do so. But in terms of the way the gearbox operates, it's smooth, there's no clunks, there's no delays, it's absolutely as tight as a drum. Coming to the steering of the car, which has again always been a real strong point on this generation CR-V, because it's really, really nice. It's very nicely weighted, but it's very positive and accurate compared to a lot of cars in its class. I think the small diameter steering wheel actually helps quite a lot in that respect as well. But it really, again, just feels very, very tight on the road. There's certainly no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the vehicle, Honda know this market absolutely intimately, given that CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world. So what they give you is a very compliant, comfortable ride, but one that actually allows you to go through the corners at a fairly decent lick without huge body roll angles and loads of motion and wallowing about, which can be particularly unpleasant for backseat passengers. I mean, it really is a brilliantly developed chassis. It's not a sports car, but what they've done is design it exactly for the purpose for the car's intended use, and it is fantastic in that respect. There's also very quiet on the move. There's no sort of nasty knocking noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there when you hit the bumps. You obviously hear it in the bumps, but you just don't get any of those sort of nasty chattering noises. So all good in that respect. Just going to get up to speed and give the brakes a bit of a shove, but I know they're good. The car's literally just gone through an independent MOT and passed without any advisories, so which comes as no surprise given how the car's been maintained up to this point and low mileage, but there we go. Just give them a bit of a shove. It's a really solid brake pedal. They grab really nicely, they're powerful, but there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back to the brake pedal at all, so all in very, very good order indeed. Looking around inside, the first thing you notice when you drive these cars, which videos cannot get across of course, is just how brilliantly made these cars are. Just no noises, no squeaks, no rattles, no buzzers from the trim. Absolutely beautifully made. Also it's just a lovely place to sit and operate a car. You've got brilliant visibility forward and back and sideways, huge rear wing mirrors, you've got parking sensors front and rear, and parking camera, which is on this big screen here, which makes manoeuvring the car really, really simple. It doesn't intimidate in any way. The dashboard, although very heavily equipped, is very, very simple to use, which I love. You know, a bit of a technophobe, I've got to be honest with you. Sat nav's working perfectly, air conditioning's absolutely ice cold air coming out of it, switch gears of the very highest order. It's just got wonderful quality of actuation with every single button you press. Dashboard directly in front, simplicity itself, minimal information, which I love, but all the information you need: rev counter, speedo, temperature and fuel gauges, and temperature gauge now running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. Steering wheel, as I said, nice and small in diameter, makes the car feel much more nimble than in reality it probably is, and feels absolutely as new in hand. These are, this is rather, a four-wheel drive version, but as you'll notice, there are no buttons or anything to press to activate the four-wheel drive, because it does it for you. Honda again worked out very quickly that the vast majority of people that drive these cars will be driving as I am today, in perfectly good conditions and on perfectly good roads. So for 99% of the time you're driving, it's going to be in front wheel drive, the most efficient way of pulling a car along. Only as and when it needs to go into four wheel drive, it'll do it for you, because it senses the front wheels starting to lose grip, immediately brings in the rear wheels to give you four wheel drive in a completely seamless way. And it's just wonderfully simple. And the beauty of it is, you're not, you know, if you've got permanent four-wheel drive, you tend to use more fuel, you're putting more mechanical load to the car, and you're certainly using your tyres more than you would in this method of four-wheel drive. And its simplicity gives it its reliability, because we've not so much as put a spanner on one. In the decades we've been selling Hondas using this particular system, it is a wonderfully designed piece of engineering. As I said at the start of the video, as brief as it might be, it is literally just here to show the car in operation. The car drives absolutely beautifully, and I've had plenty of them. We've been selling Hondas for well over 20 years now, and it's a very, very fine example of one of these cars. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.